Talking Lakers Live. Welcome to Perspective Log X, Lakers fandom, PXLF. Go Lakers. By now, I imagine that you know the news about we got Marcus Smart. We still have to put in waivers, but we got him for 11 million. I think it's going to be the contract. And so, if you see the title here, Exposing Sports Analyst, to me, it's very hypocritical. You know, and maybe hypocritical is not the word. I don't know for those of you who were paying attention back when the Lakers in the season 2019 at the end, the Lakers were a little bit disappointed because we had all this young core, these guys, and we just had LeBron James with them. It's when we discovered that Alex Caruso could play the NBA. We had, uh, you know, uh, all these guys that were the young core that we traded for Anthony Davis in the offseason. And something interesting happened. And one of the things that you know I remember is how cautious everybody was about this idea that Anthony Davis and LeBron James could work, and all that kind of skepticism. They couldn't put the Lakers as a championship team. Of course, you know, the Lakers won the championship in 2020. Uh, Whether you call it bubble championship, whatever it was a championship, and the Lakers were dominating everybody. And before COVID shut down the season, the Lakers beat one after the other the three teams that everybody thought they were going to win it all, which were the Milwaukee Bucks, the Clippers, and the Denver Nuggets, one after the other. And then the season got shut down. And at that time, the Lakers started to actually mix up well. And they were starting to pull up as the number one seeded team in the NBA. And even though that was like that, all the shade that was thrown at that team could not win the championship, which they did. And then when they won the championship, all the excuses that were thrown to them. But one of the things that I remember from the starting of the season was that, yeah, the Lakers were good, but they weren't good enough to win the championship. It was always this idea that the Lakers didn't have enough to win the championship. Now, at that time, one of the reasons was because the 2019 team could not even get there to the playoffs. But if you remember, everybody was injured. But before everybody was injured in that team, the Lakers were the fourth seed in the Western Conference. It's just that everybody got injured and they had to play with the bench. They had to put Alex Caruso from the G League, and that's when we discovered really what Caruso could do. Though I had mentioned about Caruso before because I've been seeing Caruso dominating in the G League, so I was like, no, this guy is NBA ready. And a lot of people actually laughed at me when that happened. And now Caruso have two championships, one with us and one not, and the one he got this year. So, who had the last laugh? Me. I got the last laugh on that. But that's not why I'm here for. It's that I've seen this thing happening again. But this is more ridiculous to me because the shade that is being thrown to the Lakers now goes all the way into even fans and even analysts from our side, which to me makes no freaking sense. We were the third seed, and yeah, we got exposed because we didn't have a center. And yeah, we couldn't make stops because not having a center made all our other problems being magnified. Because we had to overcompensate for this one particular big problem we had, and pun completely intended. We didn't have bigs. We had a guy who looked great, but we all know that he wasn't a starting center. And so I'm starting to hear the same things now. Like, we got Marcus Smart, we got now a big in Aiton, and not any big. Aiton is really good. Aiton just was in a team that didn't inspire anybody to win, right? But he's now in a situation when he has to fight for a contract that he's got in a team that is a championship aiming type of team. He's got Luka Doncic. He's got LeBron James. I remember when everybody was saying Luka and LeBron in the same team. This team can go all the way to the finals, right? And that changed when Minnesota beat them. But Minnesota beat them not because they were the best team in the league, obviously, because they lost after that, but because they had the one kryptonite that this team couldn't fight against. It was that they had two bigs. That's why you have a big that is not known for scoring, and then he scores over 30 points. He looks like Will Chamberlain. You know? Why? Because we didn't have anybody who could even look like he could stop him. Now we have somebody. And Aiden is not known for being the super shot blocker on all, but he's better than having no center. And he is one of the best centers we got in the NBA. He's not the best. He's got the ability to be. And people talk about the low model. Then we have Laravia. And Laravia is a guy who is as good as defender as DFS. He is as good. He's younger, and because he's white, I'm pretty sure people don't think he's white. athletes are sneaky athletic. You know, that's the saying over there. But he is good, and he is a good defender. And probably one thing plus he has is that he is good at offense too. He can put the ball in the basket in different ways. And he can shoot. We have a better team than the third seed in the West last year. We do. And it's not a little bit better. It's much, much better. Much, much better. We don't have a rookie coach anymore because he was a rookie last year. We got a good coaching staff that can put together, if they can put together a team that wasn't supposed to be a defensive team to be the number one defense for a whole month, I think they can do marvels with what we have now. And I think Marcus Smart is going to have to remind people the defensive beast that he is. And Laravia is going to have to tell people, look, if you haven't seen me doing this, I'm going to do it a lot here. And defense is something he does very well. Not average well. Very well. And Adu Fierro, yeah, he's got some problems because of his growing. He's got some problems with the shooting that can be fixed. That can be fixed. He's still growing. So let's see how that goes. But he is a high motor, also a good defender. I know he's a rookie. I mean, he hasn't even started in the NBA, but he is a good two-way player. And mostly what I want him to be good is in the defense. And he's got an amazing wingspan, and he's got a high motor, and that's what you want. That's what you want in that kind of player. And I'm not talking that he's the savior. I don't know why people think that we need another guy to save the team. We got LeBron James. We got Luka Doncic. We got Ayton. DeAndre Ayton is not anybody. He's a good center who wasn't a bad deal of a team. Now he's a good deal of a team. Did you see the interview? How excited that guy was? Parading the shirt with a smile that was amazing to see. Dressed up, all together, all put together. But there is this thing now that now because the Lakers lost with Minnesota in that type of game because they had the specific disadvantage. And, in the NBA, it's all about matchups. When you have a disadvantage in matchups, it doesn't matter what you made in the season, it's going to show up in the offseason. But if they were the third seed with that disadvantage, they can't be such a bad team that people can't count them as contenders now. And I am excited about the season because I know they are gonna start doing winning basketball from the get-go. because the main pieces that needed to be there are already there. And the best part of us is we didn't lose anybody except DFS, but we were going to lose DFS anyways because he wanted a 4-year contract, and for some reason the front office is is thinking, and this is the thing that I always criticize this front office is they have one leg into keeping the team competitive and one leg into planning into the future. And sometimes when you have one leg in one side and one leg on the other, you can't act because you don't know what to do. And you still wait, wait for that amazing moment, right? There's already two. There's already two miracles because we didn't have Marcus Smart because the front office is amazing negotiator. Because they didn't have to negotiate anything. And we didn't have Aiton in the same situation. Now, the one thing I can give to the front office is that if they already knew about the Aiton thing, I understand what they went after wings because the center problem was already on the way to be solved. And now they have a point of attack defender, and they still have all the assets that they had before to trade, right? I said this, and some people liked it, some other people didn't like it on X. But I said that I would put Laravia as part of the starting line as a small forward and pull LeBron to play the fourth, which is what they are doing right now. Because Rui is not a real three. Rui is a four. He should go be the backup for LeBron instead of Cleaver or I know that they probably thinking of Adu being also a backup four. I would put Adu as a backup four. It could be a backup three. And I don't know what the Lakers are going to do with Dalton Connect. Dalton Connect, since the trade fiasco hasn't been the same, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him, but he's got to wake up from that because he could end up out of the NBA or just in the becoming a G League guy, and I don't want that for the kid because I think he's got really good abilities, and I don't want him to have a mindset of losing because he doesn't know he's going to be in the team the next day or something like that, or he's going to be involved in another trade. Sometimes I wish they could trade him, not because I want him out of the Lakers, but because I think it's the best thing for him. You know, it's difficult sometimes to say bye to some Laker players because you think that they either weren't used correctly or something happened that you know that they could have done so much better in the team. But it's a reality of basketball. It's part of a business. You gotta You gotta know that when you can't do the job that you're supposed to do, you're going probably going to be replaced. You know, it's part of a basketball game. It's part of it. You know, even stars go through that sometimes. And so that's what I want to expose. I want to expose all these guys that are now putting the Lakers like the eighth move didn't mean anything. And now, and I'm already hearing that the Marcus Smart move didn't move the needle either. You know, you know, are they waiting for Kuminga? Or you know, they passed Herb Jones. You couldn't get Herb Jones. It's not that easy. It's not that easy to get what you want in the NBA. It's not like in baseball. So I think, look, if you've seen me, you know I'm a big critic of the front office. I think the front office sometimes have these ideas that I don't understand how they can they think they're good. But when they make a deal, when they zero in on a deal, they zero in on a deal. Our front office is not a bad front office. I criticize them because I care. But at the same time, I know they are not a bad front office. And now that there's going to be more money to invest, though the contracts aren't allowed, you can, you know, the health, everything related to health on part of the Lakers that can be, and development that can be put money into it, and that's important. And the Lakers already have a good, have the fame of discovering talent in places where nobody's looking at. Caruso is part of it, you know. Austin Reeves, you know, the players that the Lakers didn't even have to draft. They fell out of the draft. But somebody else took him and didn't want him, and so the Lakers are very good at picking up people that other teams overlook or don't want, and transform that into part of a championship engine. So there is value on the front office, but sometimes I think they get ahead of themselves, and sometimes they give up too much deals. But outside of that, I don't have much more complaints. But to say that this team is, you know, is one trade away of being a team that, of those teams that in the offseason you can say, well, I could hand you the championship or something like that. Maybe. But to say that they are not contenders yet, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not that confident that Houston has the championship team that everybody's talking about. Not because they are not a really good team, but because, to me, adding KD doesn't move the needle to me. Say that we cannot beat them in a series. I think we could beat that team in a series. I still do. Dallas, the Dallas Lakers, that's an interesting team. That's a team that to me is more, it looks like it's a question mark, but it's a question mark that is more dangerous to me than Houston. To me, that's what I think. Denver got better, but still doesn't move the needle for me to say that they got, contender type better. And we got two guys that pair well guarding Jokic, which is Aiden. Aiden is pretty good guarding Jokic, and the other one is Laravia, believe it or not. Laravia have made Jokic's life miserable when he had to guard him. So I tell you, people are sleeping on Laravia. That kid, I always have that player that nobody thinks is that good, but I say is that good, like Caruso. The only player that I have miserably failed was Taylor Hawkins. I thought he was going to be better. I really thought he was. And like the front office, I was mistaken. But I didn't think he was so much better, so good that they had to get rid of Caruso. I think that was a mistake. I wouldn't sacrifice Caruso for Taylor Hawkins even in that time. We needed a bigger sample for his defense, and finally, we didn't see it in the Lakers. We didn't see it in the Jazz, and I don't know if we are going to see it with the Bulls. Now, I'm going to leave it like that, but I just wanted to get that out of, my chest, because all these analysts are now so cautious about talking about the Lakers, even though they know the Lakers are way better now than what they were when they said that they could go all the way. I don't know if you remember, but a lot of people in the media said that the Lakers' only obstacle in the West was the Oklahoma City Thunder. And the Oklahoma City Thunder won it all, right? But soon, when they saw the mismatches, the problems that having a team with big centers gave to the Lakers in the offseason, in the playoffs, then everybody changed their tune, and now the Lakers are almost like almost. I even heard the word that they expected the Lakers to be a playing team. How do you get from playing to be the third seed, or to be the third seed to be playing when you get better? It's just bad analysis. It's just bad analysis. Right now, the team looks pretty pretty well put, and we still have the assets. We all this had happened without the Lakers doing a trade. That's the biggest miracle of those. We got Aiton, we got Marcus Smart, and we got Laravia, and none of them were through trades. And so I'm excited. I hope you are. Take care of yourself and each other. And may God bless you. Go Lakers. Bye-bye.